What's going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we got a brand new video on passive income, which is getting paid to do nothing. Everybody's dream. We all want to get paid and not have to work for it. Be sitting on a beach somewhere and just know that the money is rolling in. So, how can we actually go about doing that? It's a little bit misleading with passive income, the word being passive, because although it is passive after you've already done the work up to that point. So you can't really have passive income without already having some sort of active income where you worked or made money somehow working. But there are ways to very easily start a passive income journey, and there are ways that are pretty hard. So we know that the first way we'll cover is Bitcoin, crypto kind of interest earning platforms, things like BlockFi, Voyager, and you might have to try and take advantage of these pretty quickly because they might be trying to go away in the near term future as the government doesn't really like people being able to make money. So that's the first one. And the second one would be stuff like stocks, dividends being paid to hold a certain stock. So that's traditional finances and traditional assets that you can get paid for just for holding, just like you can do with Bitcoin or Ethereum or something on a platform like Voyager or BlockFi, and get paid interest to have it on there. It does come with third-party risk, but we'll cover that during when we talk about it. But the third one is going to be the most difficult and the most capital intensive, meaning the most amount of money you're going to need to be able to do it, and that's real estate. And we all know, rental properties, all the rage. You either absolutely hate them and hate landlords and hate those people, or you look at it from the business side and say it's pretty good to cash flow a property, but it is a form of passive income that you can get paid to do not really anything. So first up, we would have the crypto interest. And the reason that I single this one out is because you can invest in cryptocurrency and like the future of that, as well as earn a little bit of a yield off of your currency that you are investing in. So we're just going to talk strictly Bitcoin because, everyone knows Bitcoin. But on platforms like BlockFi, you actually cannot get the yield anymore for Bitcoin. And the yield is actually pretty bad on Bitcoin now, at least for BlockFi. So right now, even though you can't get in there and do it, you have to be grandfathered in if you are getting interest on there. I am getting interest on BlockFi. I've had them for a very long time. So I've been grandfathered into the rule where if I take any out, I don't earn interest anymore. But I am earning interest right now. I have the minimum in there for the minimum amount, and then I have stuff on Voyager instead because the rate's just better. But on BlockFi, you are getting a APY, which is compounding daily, and that's how it's compounded. So you get to compound your interest daily. You get the updates and things like that. But on Voyager, which as far as I know right now, you actually can still use. They're actually offering something, they're 3.05%, and this is APR. So it's not compounding daily, but it's paid out monthly. So it kind of compounds monthly, but it's APR, and you can see you have a required minimal monthly average minimum to be able to earn this interest, which is 0.01 Bitcoin, which converts to what, like $400 or something like that at this price right now. So not too bad. $400 to start earning interest and 3%. So that's pretty big. It doesn't sound like a lot, 3%, but it is massive if you are, one, excited about Bitcoin and don't even plan on selling it in the future or in the near term future. And you can earn a little bit more money off of it. And you could even use it as a savings account, really, where 3%, 3.05% is way higher than the national average of something like 0.06%. So you might as well be able to make a little bit of money as well as having an asset that you really like, and you can basically get free Bitcoin at the end of the day. So off of something like this, 3.5%, we can just take this. Say you have $1,000 and it's at 3.05%. That's going to be $30.50 per year, but it compounds monthly. So you're going to get about $2.54 per month to do nothing. That passive income per $1,000. So 10,000, you'd be getting $25 a month, and you keep compounding that and going up from there. But it is a easy way to take an asset that you might already like and want to hold and be able to kind of earn some yield off of it. Dangers of doing something like this, having it on Voyager or BlockFi, is you do have third-party risk. So you have to know that there is a risk there because your money is technically being loaned out to other people, other businesses, through like a Voyager platform, a BlockFi platform. And that's why you get such a good yield. You get part of the yield of them loaning it out and them paying you that yield. So you have third party risk. And I can see where, the SEC and all these government things are a little worried that people might not know that that risk is there. But ultimately, it's 3% compared to 0.06%. Like, come on. We know which people are going for. And if you pick a stable coin, then you get to the insane percent. It's like 9% for a stable coin that you can earn, which would be massive. That's like almost $10 for every $1,000 you have in there, compared to the bank where they give you pennies. So that's the first one, and probably the easy comparable to stocks and dividends, which is going to be up next, where you can still earn a yield and you basically get a share of the profits from the stock. So you can pick different stocks that do this. You can even pick ETFs that have dividend paying stocks in them to be able to, not you have to pick stocks. You can just pick the dividend ETF and be able to get paid money for holding the stock. Stock ones are still going to be a higher percentage than like a normal savings account, to be expected, depending on the stock you pick. Something like Apple isn't yielding that much, but I think it's still higher than the average savings account, which is crazy. But you can still get a share of Apple profits. You can get dividends from something like Microsoft. McDonald's is a great dividend company. They've been historically good with it. And if you just want to buy an ETF and get a dividend ETF and get a check every month, they have dividends that can get every month. You have dividends that pay quarterly. That's typically the dividends you get paid every 3 months or once a quarter instead of once a month with something like a Voyager or BlockFi. So that's the biggest difference, is the time. Instead of getting paid monthly, you get paid basically quarterly on most times. Some of them pay monthly, but the majority pay quarterly. So that's just how you can pay or earn passive income through stocks and crypto. So you do need the active income first. So if that makes sense, it's called passive because the money from the investment is passive. You don't have to do anything after that point. But in order to get the money to go into the investment, you do need to be able to have some sort of income, have the money there already, or maybe be a trust fund baby and you already have the money. You don't have to work for it. You can just throw the money at something. So, but most people, you're going to require active income first before you can get passive income. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, because they think passive income should be so easy. But it's easy after you've done the hard stuff, after you've done the active income and the sacrificing to get passive income. That's where it becomes more easy. Once you start getting more passive income, you can start just seeing things a little bit differently. But it does take active income, working, hard work, and sacrifice to get to passive income. And finally, we have real estate, which honestly, out of all passive income options, is a little bit not so passive, because it requires not only all of the work on top of what requires to go into something like Voyager or stocks. It requires you to do all of that work and more, because you need a lot more money to get down payments on houses. But also, you need money for repairs and anything that could go wrong with the property during the time that you own the property. So, although if you break down the numbers and the leverage looks really good and things just stack up well for real estate from a numbers basis, it does require lots and lots of upfront capital. At least at first. I mean, maybe you can try and house hack to get your first one under your belt and try and go through there. But it's the most non-passive of the passive investments, but it does yield pretty highly, where obviously you can get the rent and you have whatever your mortgage is. Make sure it's more than that. Make sure it cash flows. Otherwise, you got a problem on your hands. But after that, it just starts to pay down the mortgage, start to get equity and income, and it just starts to get really compounding and get pretty good for you. But it's ultimately not one that I've personally done, so I don't have much to say on it. But it's definitely something where I think after you start to get a lot more money, after you start to have investments paying off, you can kind of go into real estate a little bit and see, how it fits, if you enjoy it, if you want to do it, and how it can break down. But it's definitely one that requires a little bit more money. So those are 3 ways you could live the dream of not working and getting paid to do it. Something that it requires work up front. But honestly, I like seeing the numbers go up and being able to cash flow things and try and make money by not having to work. But rather, figuring these types of things out. And it's pretty fun after you start to see the dollar amount go up after you see money start compounding and money making money. It, to me, that gets exciting, and that should get you excited about trying to do investing and dividends and passive income and earn yield on Bitcoin and crypto. It's just seeing money go up and not having to actively work for it is just really, really amazing. That's going to do it for this video. As always, everybody smash the like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in my next